Hello everyone. So this is your third session for Adobe Illustrator, and we're gonna learn mainly how to use a trace tool to draw a croquis, and after that we will use layers and use pen tool to draw a dress. So create a new and 8.5 11 inches 300 resolution. After that, you will need to actually place the children croquis. That way you don't need to open and move. Okay, so we use the place tool to put the croquis down. And then after you click the file, it shows where to play, and then you can click the document. And then you may read okay. And let's try to reduce the size a little bit because we don't want like our croquis like this big, so we can reduce the size a little bit. And I told you if to hold the shift key, you will keep the original ratio. And then once you like the size, like the size, then you can go to Object and Rasterize. And then CMYK height 300 resolution, whites, okay. Rasterize means that you can, modify these images or tracing or anything, okay? So once you place images, you need to rasterize. Then what I'm going to show you is this is images, but you can make a trace, you can create a trace line of these drawings, okay? So you will need to go object again. And then do you see this trace option? Oops, I need to select the image, and go to object, and then go to object, and then select image trace, and under image trace you will find make and expand. And then you will blah blah blah. But you know, because it's a black and white, when it has colors here, it doesn't take that long. So, and we already rasterize, so you don't need to worry about. Just click OK. And then what happened now is actually it create like a line here for the drawings. Okay, so now you have, sorry, you need to ungroup first. So now you have actually click and then I ungroup. I did ungroup. Okay. I need to separate. So do you see one is just outline and then this one is inside of line. So we don't need this. We don't need this. So after right click and then you need to ungroup, you need to separate with the background tracing with the inside tracing. Okay, so we will need to delete because we don't need to use. And then we will actually delete these letters. Okay, so you may delete unnecessary things by zoom in, Control plus. So if there's a tiny little trace things that you don't need, then you delete those by Control plus and then Control minus. Then what you need to do now is, because you did ungroup, each part of the body is separated. So you don't want that. So I will actually do now, I will do group. Okay? Then after you trace, I will zoom in a little bit to show. So, I mean, if you wanted to remove certain lines of this tracing, for example, like this one, I don't like that, then you may use minus key on the keyboard and then remove minus. You have to actually click the anchor to remove. So you may need to zoom in a lot to remove. Oops. Sometimes A tool, and then I may zoom in even more. Let's see whether I can. Minus. That's not the anchor. And then A tool, direct selection tool. How can I remove this? Okay, and then with this, I think I can remove. Yes. Okay, so you might need to zoom in a lot to remove those straight line. Because we're gonna put the skirt here, I will not really worry about the under penny lines and then these lines for now, okay? So Control minus to zoom out or Command minus. So now what we're gonna do is actually we make a copy of this. Control C, Control V. And then I told you in Illustrator, you can use actually outside of this document as work area. So I will kind of make a lot of the clones, you know, of this. Okay. Then after I have made a copy of this one, I will actually color her. Color this kiddo. So after you select this, do you see the fill option here is kind of question mark because it doesn't have colors, or sometimes depends on the area, it has different options, then it shows the question mark. So I will kind of color this for the yellow. And don't worry about right now in terms of how to color each section differently. Okay, so we're gonna do that in next class. But for now, I want you to kind of understand how you use the transform tool and then separate with the background and then group them and use minus on the keyboard, minus key on the keyboard to the delete points, or use direct selection tool to modify some lines. Okay, so as long as you understand that, that's good for now. Okay, so this part actually after you color, you will need to move aside because it doesn't really show you the detail in terms of the where is the waistline, where is the center line, those kind of things. So we will use actually the one that we didn't color for the guide as a guideline to draw a dress. So after you move here, we need to add layers. So after this, that way, you know, you can kind of hide your body lines, you know, and then you don't really mix up with your body drawing, okay? So, I will move this one a little bit inside. You can see the layers option. So let's add a new layer. I think it cut out from the screen, so you didn't see. Okay, so if you click the hamburger here, you see the layer option and then add a new layer. And then you can rename your, layers. And then one thing that you need to not forget, is you should put the toggled lock on the your original drawing. Okay, that way you don't mess up with the format, with the drawings. So and then you put the toggled lock, and then make sure you select the new layer, edit. Then let's use a pen tool. Okay, so P as a pen tool. And let's pick the color. So this time, whenever you draw at the drawing stage, you should have actually no fill. So we will select no fill option here, none. And then let's add colors for the line. So we can change the color of the line later. And I will use red for the high visibility. Okay. And let's draw a dress. So pen tool selected. And last class we learned about how to use the transform tool to draw a copy and to the other side. So, because your design will be symmetric, we will draw only one side. So we will start from the center leg and then click, drag, click to remove one leg, click, and then click here, and then remove one leg, and then click, click here, and then here. And I told you usually hit enter to finish. So usually I draw quickly with my pen tool, and then A, which is the direct selection tool, to modify. So I will modify with my direct selection tool to modify some shape. And then this. Okay, so after you like the shape, use selection tool, and then click, right click, and transform, reflect, copy. Then I use usually the keyboard to move. And then do you remember you learned how to use a join tool since we wanted to combine this together? So click the connected area and right click, join. That way the left side and then ESC, escape. So whenever you happen to you like this, then like this, then you can do the escape. So now it is the one connected dress. Okay, now let's add the sleeve. And then I told you about, because each section we have to draw as a complete object. Even though for the sleeve part, we can just draw the outline and then this line like a three side. But in Illustrator, actually you need to complete the object, which means you need to draw the armor line one more time. So pen tool, Control Z as undo. Actually, I may zoom out a little bit. Like this. Click, and then click, drag, click, 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 like that. And with A, direct selection tool, I may modify. And I realized that I got somehow 2 points drawn here, and I want to remove 1 point. So you can use minus key on your keyboard, minus, then you can click, then you can remove 1 point, and then with a direct selection tool, then move. And then I will keep modify. Command minus. Okay. So now I got one side of sleeve with the selection tool, which is V, and then transform, reflect, copy, and I'm going to move the other side. Okay. So now once you have a 3 part of the drawing done, then let's do the group. So you can kind of move those together. So this is one dress. Okay? So one dress. And then from first dress to the second dress, we're gonna actually add some like flares on the bottom. Okay? So let's do the copy, Control C, Command C, Command V as a paste. And Control plus. I did join, but this one, let's see. Ungroup. And then let's see. I can join. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know like there was a gap in the bottom, so I joined the bottom here too. Anyway, you have to do ungroup if you found some gap and then wanted to close the gap. Then ungroup and then do the join, and then you may group them again. But you have to, I mean, you don't need to really ungroup for now. Okay, so to add flares for the second drawings, I may zoom in a little bit. We will add some points here after we gonna make it a little bit wider. So with the direct selection tool, let's make a little point click wider. Okay, and the plus key on the keyboard plus. Let's make a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. We shouldn't be on the 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So now I got 9 additional points added. And then with the direct selection tool, you can kind of see like this. I'm going to modify, so don't worry about like ugly flare now. Okay, with this, after added 3 points for each side and the middle, you drag to see some curve line here, and then again with the direct selection tool, you can kind of adjust to make a little more pretty flare in terms of balance. So we actually drag. So for here, somehow the leg is not created. Okay, the drawing leg is not created. If that is the case for you, if it happened to you, go to the pen tool, and then do you see anchor point tool? And then use anchor point tool, to make curved line. Okay, curved line. And then, so you can now adjust the curve. Oops. Sorry. I feel like there should be one more point. So I add the plus sign and then click, and then with A, direct selection tool to make it smoother. Okay. Okay, so now I got flare shape. There's a smooth tool, but that's going to be a next one, like next session. So I'm not going to really show you right now, but that's how you got your flared bottom. And then let's add some kind of vertical lines. So I will use pen tool, P as a pen tool again, and then click, enter, click, enter, click, enter, click, click, enter, click, click, enter, click, 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 Control G, click, click, enter. Okay, with A, you can still modify lines a little bit. Okay. Okay. So now we got second variations from first one. And then third variation, you will make a longer kind of the half sleeve with some color edit. Okay, so let's do copy, Control C, Control V. Then for now, don't worry about your drawing over this white work area. You can use outside of the white outside as a kind of the storage. So this time we're gonna make this sleeve as a mid-length of the armhole the sleeve, puff sleeve. So with the 8, I may use direct selection tool, and then it is not grouped, so I will actually delete one side with delete key, and then I may zoom in, Control plus, and then oops, I have to click this white middle here, and then white anchor here. Okay, and then I will actually make it smaller, and then I will do this. Okay, and then I will make this line a little bit up. And then this. Okay, and I will draw P as a pen tool. Enter. enter, enter, and then P, enter A tool to modify. Okay. So after this, I will actually make these three things. And then make sure you select the inside line. So when you select several things together, actually you can use Shift key and then click, 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 click to select the several objects together and then group before actually you do transform, reflect, copy, and move. And then we will add colors. Okay, now I will show, I'm going to draw a color, Peter Pan color on this. Oops. And P as a pen tool. And again, you have to make a complete object A to draw, not just three sides, but complete object. Okay, so you have to come back where you start to complete object. Okay, so after do that, V as a selection tool, select, and then transform, reflect, copy, and move like that. Then after you got this part done. Before actually go further, I wanted to talk about if this is a flat drawing without the croquis, actually you have to complete this back line. But because we're gonna put on the body croquis, you are not going to, you don't need to complete the back drawing here. Okay? Anyway, so now we're gonna do is we will color the dress like we did for the bodies. So we zoom out a little bit, and then I will put the toggle unlock, and then move away. And actually, I copied and pasted these white ones for just in case, but we're gonna, oops, I forgot to ungroup, do the group. We're gonna actually copy paste of this colored one, Control C, Control V, and then V. Okay. Then I will color this dress. So for this one, I may do ungroup, and then with the selection tool, select, and then I will dress the color, and then I know it's very childish, not so great design, but you know, I just focusing on the showing tools right now. So and then try to add some colors, and eventually I will actually change the my line color to black. Okay, and there are a lot of great tools that you can make some drawing effects, but that's going to be later. Okay, so I will do the group, and then I will try this dress to her. You know, it's like actually when I draw this you know, long sleeve, I should use the her this croquis as a reference. So I'm now fixing it because it's not really covering. One thing that you need to make sure is where is your drawings. So my dress is on the second layer, and then my body drawings are first layers. So that way, if I put the toggle draw, I don't need to worry about messing up with my you know, croquis drawings. Okay. So let's, where's another dress? Okay, so then you do the coloring for all of three, and then that will be for your first file that you need to submit. Okay, so just have fun with I may change the line color to black, and then I will bring this into here. Okay, so you know, later you will actually get a better more better you know, drawings in terms of the modification and apply effect, but for now don't worry about adding those, but focusing on this time is going to be how to trace the you know, images and add layers, and then use pen tool to dress on, and then use plus keyboard to add the anchors, and then you know, if you wanted to delete, then use minus on the keyboard to delete. Okay, so that will be the one file that you will need to submit. Then what you need to do as a second file is, I will open, and then same, go to file and place, and this time I put the not the illustration but woman croquis, and then do the same thing. So after you adjust the sizes, I told you if to hold the shift key, you will keep the ratio. And then once you like the size, go to object, and then click, go to object, and then rasterize, and then go to you know, the object again, and then trace, and then make expand, and then go on. So after you have these bodies separated and then colored, and then add three kind of simple dresses, but try to copy and paste, and then use plus on the keyboard or minus or direct selection tool or anchor point tool to modify your design to create a three more design. Okay, so file, save, and then you know, little dress one will be your first file that you need to submit, and then second file will be with the woman croquis and then have 3 dresses drawn for the women, and then save to the dresses to AI file, and then submit those 2 files by, yes, Tuesday night. Will be kind of a lot of work before Tuesday night, but that's what you need to do, okay? So that will be all for today, and then next class you will learn more tools.